Trump's America arrests students for speaking truth. The war on protest has begun. Let me tell you something, America. This is not just about one protest. This is not just about one university. This is about control, about silence, about fear. The Trump regime, yes, regime, not administration, is now going after students, young people, protesters, voices who dare to speak truth. The University of Washington, a place for learning, for ideas, for freedom, is now a battleground. And Donald Trump, the man who ran from subpoenas but now runs this country like a dictator, is using the full power of the government to crush dissent. Why? Because students dared to say what many of us believe, that the U.S. has blood on its hands when it funds war machines like Boeing. Let's break this down. On Monday, students took over an engineering building. They blocked streets. They lit 2 dumpsters on fire. Yes, it got heated, it got loud. But that is protest. That is democracy. That is America. And how did Trump's goons respond? With riot cops, with arrests, with armored fists, not open ears. They dragged 30 students out like criminals, like they were terrorists. But the real crime is silence. The real crime is pretending everything is fine while children die under bombs that say, "Made in the USA." Trump's so-called task force to combat antisemitism is now investigating the protest, investigating students. This task force isn't about safety. It's about suppression. It was born in February, not to protect Jews, but to protect power. It wraps itself in the language of justice while serving injustice. And now, Trump's team says they're reviewing this eruption of antisemitic harassment. Really? Do they think standing against bombs and occupation is antisemitism? Do they think demanding your school cut ties with a company that builds weapons is hatred? Let's be clear. These students were not targeting Jews. They were targeting war profiteers. They were targeting a university that took $10 million from Boeing, a company that built F-15s, Hellfire missiles, and Apache helicopters, weapons that have flattened Gaza, weapons that have erased families. The students renamed the building. They called it Shaban al-Dalu Building, after a 19-year-old killed in an Israeli bombing. That's not hate. That's remembrance. That's grief turned into action. That's humanity. But to Trump's America, truth is dangerous. Compassion is criminal. Protest is terrorism. Education Secretary Linda McMahon, yes, the same Linda from World Wrestling Entertainment, is now deciding who's a threat to civil rights. She called the protest destructive. She said Jewish students live in fear. But what about the fear Palestinians live with every single day? The fear of missiles, checkpoints, arrests without charges. That fear doesn't seem to matter to Trump's task force. And here's the kicker, this isn't just about Washington. This regime is investigating more than 60 universities. Harvard, Brown, Columbia, all under fire. Some have already had funding cut. That's billions of dollars lost. This is blackmail. This is political punishment dressed as policy. Robert F. Kennedy Jr., yes, he sold his name to Trump's machine, said that no school that tolerates harassment should get taxpayer money. But what he really means is no school that tolerates protest. No school that allows young people to stand for Palestine. UW President Anna Marie Koss called the protest illegal. She said she won't talk with anyone who supports destructive tactics. But what is more destructive? Some burning dumpsters, or missiles made in America killing children in hospitals. Koss also condemned the students for honoring the victims of October 7. Did she ask why those students honored them? Did she ask why a generation is rising up, tired of bloodshed, tired of being told their empathy is a crime? This isn't about antisemitism. This is about dissent. This is about empire. And they know it. That's why they act so fast, so hard, so brutally, because they are afraid. Not afraid of violence, but of the truth. Boeing makes billions. Israel gets billions. And when students say, "Not in our name," they are silenced, arrested, smeared. This isn't freedom. This isn't democracy. This is fascism wrapped in a flag. This is McCarthyism for a new generation. And if we don't fight it now, we will lose everything. So, to the students at the University of Washington, you are not alone. Your protest matters. Your voices matter. The people see you. We stand with you. And to Trump, McMahon, Kennedy, and the cowards behind this crackdown, you don't scare us. You don't get to rewrite the rules. You don't get to decide what truth is. We do. Because in the end, truth burns brighter than any dumpster fire. This was Grassroot Report. Have a nice day.